Okay, welcome back, everyone. I hope you are power posing all the way through your break. Now let's move on to my favorite. This one really is my favorite, the heart. Yep. So now we are on the heart chakra, Anahata. Now, Anahata translates to the unstruck sound. This is love and integration. It's the fourth energy center in the system, and it's located in the chest, right behind the sternum, the cardiac plexus, and the thymus gland. It is closely related to the heart, the lungs, upper back, rib cage, shoulders, governs love, compassion, connection, forgiveness, and the ability to integrate the earthly and the spiritual bridge between the lower chakras and the upper. This is why it's such an important chakra, because it's the bridge. It's bridging this gap. It's one of the hardest for people to overcome and get out of the physical dimension, where it's all about fulfilling our primary desires of food, shelter, and procreation. And then we move up into these elevated states. And this is where we get into, instead of survival mechanisms, where we start to move into being creators and manifestors in the world. So Manipura is awakening of the power and will. Anahata is awakening to love, the capacity to open, to care, to be touched by life, and to recognize the sacredness in oneself and others. Through this chakra, we learn to give and receive, to soften our defenses without losing discernment, and to experience relationships as fields of shared experience rather than control or fusion. The name Anahata literally means unstruck or unhit, pointing to the subtle, ever-present sound of the inherent wholeness at the core of our heart that remains untouched by life's wounds. With this chakra, the Vayu, so the air element, we're on the element of air. So we went through fire on the last one, now we're on the air element. Pran or Pran Vayu. So Pran Vayu is a Vayu that moves inwards, slightly upwards. It is directly associated with inhalation, inspiration, and the taking in of life force, breath, emotions, compliments, all of these things. Now, if this Vayu is blocked, we have a hard time. And when I say Vayu, it directly correlates with the chakra as well. So if we're not breathing in enough, if we're not taking deep, slow, conscious breaths, we're not able to bring in enough nourishment in us. And people who struggle to take compliments, this is another thing of, well, how well do you receive when someone says something nice? Can you simply, like, if you ever get a compliment, there's only one thing you can ever say. I think Caroline Myss said this, but she said the only thing that you can actually say if somebody gives you a compliment is thank you. Everything else is either deflecting or it can be ego inflation, or you're trying to deflect or put you say, oh, thank you so much, I love your shoes too. It's like, thank you. That is receiving. Yeah. It's just like, thank you. Just take a breath in. Thank you. Take that in. How well do you receive money? It's like, thank you. Take that in. So the element of Anahata is the air element. Openness, spaciousness, and lightness. Now, when we're breathing fully, I think this is one of the things when you practice yoga, especially like standing poses. When you breathe quite deeply, has anyone had that experience of you're practicing yoga and your body feels so light? Yeah, that is that spaciousness. It's balancing being grounded in our legs while having the spaciousness in the upper body and feeling expansive because we're full of energy. Remember, that's one of the primary things why we love yoga, or if you've got into yoga, it makes you high because you are literally breathing full, slow, deep breaths. And for the first time, for a lot of us, we're going past the 95% of people who are unconsciously breathing and not taking enough nourishment in, and it feels amazing. And we get high, we get light, we get spacious. That's exactly what we want using this Vayu, using, the power of the heart. So this is our capacity to receive love, to receive support, movement and circulation. Blood is related to this one, and our capacity, freedom, adaptability to hold things as well, which is a paradox. Now, traditionally, this is depicted as a 12-petal lotus, often green. But again, sometimes I've seen so many people say, look, when I'm doing the visualization, I don't see green here. I feel pink. That's why it's not too important to get attached for me to colors or shapes or symbols, as opposed to, I'm not sure if I said this yesterday, but when you're doing like scanning of the energy centers, the most important thing is that you attach it with the sensation. So like I spoke about earlier, vibration, tingling, pulsing, and infusing it with loving awareness, compassionate inquiry. So you're trying to fill the energy center with a specific vibration. So if you're looking to harmonize one of the imbalances that you've got, you literally drop the feeling into the heart of love, of compassion, of bliss, of kindness. And with any of the other energy centers that you're working on, you hold the field of awareness, because remember, awareness is where you direct your energy, because energy flows there when awareness is there. And then you couple that with the affirmation of like the positive aspect of the chakra about how you fill it. That is how you, let's say, recorrect or heal the imbalances related to that chakra when you're doing meditation on them. Fusing with loving awareness, feeling the feeling there, harmonizing the feeling there, and then dropping affirmations into it. So when prana is flowing healthily through anahata, breath is full and easy, emotions can move through the chest without collapsing or armoring, and we feel connected to ourselves, to others, to life. When blocked or distorted, the heart field may become constricted, numb, or we can become emotionally overwhelmed. Practices. So when we're practicing this on this Vayu, I think you already know what kind of poses we would do for opening the chest, and that's back bends. Anything that helps to stretch the chest open and move back. Lateral poses are a good one as well. They'll stimulate and stretch the intercostal muscles out and stretch out the lungs as well. And we've all experienced it. Just stretching the heart and lungs backward feels so, so good. Like so good. And this is actually one of my favorite toys in the whole world. I don't know if anyone has a yoga wheel. They are phenomenal. Like to lie on a yoga wheel and just roll back and forth on it. It's so good. It's so good. Just lying on it, like melting open. It's such a cool prop. If you haven't tried playing with the yoga wheel for back bends, it's really, really nice because it can sit and just lie your whole spine over the wheel. It's like, yeah, it's very good. So again, any back bend. Yeah, any back bend. So anahata governs breath, circulation, energetics, uplifting, love, compassion, kindness, and empathy, our ability to give, to grieve, and to let go. Healthy balance between self-love, love for other people, and our capacity to connect with others without losing integrity. Okay. So in the Chinese system, we have the heart. You have one of the meridian lines called the pericardium. So the pericardium is a sac that sits around the heart. It's almost like a protective ball that has liquid around it that protects the heart. It's a casing. In the Chinese system, they see this as actually one of the major meridians, one of the 12 major meridians. And then you have the lung meridians that start here and the heart meridian that starts here. All of these energies expand out from the chest and move down through the arms. So whenever you're doing any arm movements like sun salutations. I say this all the time, but the yin meridian lines, so that's heart, lung, pericardium meridian, they all run down the inner edge of the arm. And the idea behind classical sun salutations is that when you do a sun salutation, you're raising the energy up and you bring it into the heart. Now you have light rays from the sun that are penetrating all the time onto the physical body. And when we do a sun salutation, the light rays are part of prana, pran vayu. So it's an energy of the solar rays coming in. Sun salutations are building up the solar force. Anytime you lift the arms up, so just basic level one in any Qigong understanding, inhale, raises energy with the arms up. Exhale, takes the energy down in the body. Just practice that with me now. You can do it seated or standing. I just want you to breathe in and raise the energy up. And then breathe out, take the energy down. Let's do it 2 times. Breathe in, raise the energy up with the arms. And breathe out, raise the energy down. Okay, now you can really feel that. Now do the classic. So we're raising the arms up, we're drawing energy in, which is raising, and then we're breathing out, and we're taking that into the heart. Yeah, it's thumbs at the breastbones. Remember, when you breathe in, the arms come up, your shoulders plug in to the sockets, and all these lines directly tap into the heart and the lungs. So when we do sun salutations, we're not just doing sun salutations, we are gathering that solar force. We're stimulating heart, lungs, and pericardium meridian. We're opening up pran vayu. We are bringing the solar energy, bringing vitality, bringing energy into the system. Yeah, so it's going to build up power chakra, and it's going to build up prana and the vitality in the heart and the lungs. If any of you have had the chance to do it, and if you haven't, try and do it at some point. Go and do sun salutations facing the sun at sunrise. It's a completely different experience. Like now, summer is going to start to come. We're in spring. If you can find a park or a rooftop or somewhere where you can just go and do sun salutations early in the morning, ideally at sunrise, but if not, as close to as possible. But there's something magical that happens when you do it. Like it's the biggest prawn booster going. Like it's just so powerful. So when anahata is balanced, breath is full and easy, emotions can move through us without collapsing. Yeah. Now, the other thing I'd like to talk about here, so we'll go into the physical organs, so anything that's related to these, okay? So the anatomy, heart, cardiovascular system, lungs, respiratory system, thymus gland, which is your immune regulation, your cardiac and pulmonary plexuses, the rib cage, sternum, and upper thoracic spine, shoulder girdle, upper back muscles, arms, and hands. Now, if you have any shoulder issues, look at the heart chakra. Yeah. If you have traps, upper back, anything that involves anywhere here, you got to look. Wrist pain, anything, you got to look at the heart chakra. So if you're experiencing anything, any physical symptoms, they are just a indicator for you to go like, oh, okay, there's something up with my heart chakra here. I need to look into the deeper mechanics of how I can maybe figure out where the imbalance is. Now, in that Chinese system, they talk about the lungs being the home of sadness and grief. Yeah, in Chinese meridian system, they talk about it being the element of metal. And I mean, I've seen this before. I've literally had a student of mine lose a relative, and they literally came in to class, and we were a very close-knit team of teachers in that studio at the time, and he was very open, and he was sharing with a few teachers that someone had passed in his world. So we all knew, but within like 2 weeks, he physically, you could see him aging. Like literally, you'd feel it. And maybe you've experienced it, or you've seen people go through a really hard breakup and they are heartbroken. It's like posture changes, breathing changes, and that's depression. Yeah, like depression. Instead of pran being full, the lungs being open, the chest being lifted, there is a depression happening, this whole physical thing. And people can age dramatically when grief and loss show up. Partly because in the West, again, we don't really process it very well. Like I talked about in, you know, India and Varanasi, where you can go and see people in the Ganges being burned. It's one of the happiest places. People are going there because they feel like, so there's a tradition in India that if you die there, your soul attains nirvana and liberation because it's such a holy place to die. So you have all these people going there and they're like sick and old, but they're so happy. And their relatives and families are so happy because it's a sacred place to die. And we don't have that in the Western world. Like death is not, it's not a joyous experience. You go there and it's like it's a place where people are dying all day, every day, but it's actually got quite a vibe there. Um, and in the Western world, we don't have that closeness to death. Yeah, the first time I went to India, I remember literally going for a walk at 6 a.m. in the morning and going out into the streets and seeing like, a dead body on that was just wrapped up in cloth on the side of the street waiting to be picked up. And I was like, wow, I was like, I've never seen a dead body just like that before. I mean, you try and see a dead body in the West, you can't. Like you cannot go and see one. Like we are not allowed to see death anywhere. It's like someone dies, the body is quickly taken away, frozen, and then maybe in some ceremonies, but no, there's no open caskets. I've never seen an open casket in the UK. It's almost like frozen, closed into a box, and we don't see it. There's not this closeness. Um, Bali, another great place. People die, their body is paraded through the streets in a coffin with a picture of them, and the whole village comes out to celebrate, and they are burned in front of the whole community with blowtorches. You ever seen, like a couple of you have been to Bali, but it's wild. And the whole community come to watch and they blowtorch the whole thing. It was the first time I saw it. Me and my wife were like, what are they burning? We're like asking them in Bahasa, and we're like doing like, babi guling the pig, and they're like, no, 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 orang. And we're like, what's orang? And then we're like, oh my God, it's a human. It's like, because they literally take the body that's wrapped in cloth, put it into a kind of metal container, and just have these two giant blow torches on either side and blow torch the body while everyone's having like they do a ceremony and a kind of a picnic around the outside, and it's like, there's a proximity to it. That's what I'm trying to say. And when there is that proximity to it, and it's so real. And the other thing that they do actually, when someone does pass, there's certain people will come and clean the body, so it's not taken anywhere. The body's on display in a house for a couple of days, and all of the village come around and see the body, and the family sit with the body, and they have a moment of mourning, grieving, and releasing and letting the soul pass on. And there is a closeness to death where we get to grieve properly and have time with the final moments of death. Yeah. And it's very important to have that so that grief and sadness doesn't get stuck there. When we do the physical practice, we'll do a lot of movements that will help to release the sensations and residues of grief and sadness. Okay. So Manipura emphasizes core containment and the emphasis on the expansion and the lifting through the breath with posture. Again, when we're breathing properly and slowly, it's not a fast breath, it's slow and deep, but the lungs are open. And when the lungs are open, there's that floating feeling. So posture becomes improved. The ability of the rib cage to broaden. So remember, if 95% of people breathe in correctly or insufficiently, this whole region, a lot of it is sticky. Like there's not really this lateral expansion that happens, and that's got to be a big one to work on. So what you can do as you're sitting here is bring your hands onto your rib cage and practice breathing laterally into the lungs to really open across the side portions of the lungs, because the middle of the lungs usually don't work that well, and we miss this lateral expansion, especially trying to drop breath down because the diaphragm is restricted because people are in that servant archetype of the power chakra. And just practice breathing deep, deep, deep down into the lower parts of the lungs. That gives us a balanced tone in the diaphragm and the intercostal muscles. And then when you breathe like that, you'll notice that it actually frees up space in your shoulders. When you breathe and the breath is being dropped deep into the lungs, it's not this chest breathing, like upper chest breathing that makes the shoulders move. It's a much longer, deeper breath. And then when that region opens, the breath can flow smoothly, the chest feels spacious, and the heart field feels accessible. When it's restricted, we may feel rounded shoulders, sunken chest, shallow breathing, and a felt sense of almost like armor or heaviness around the heart. So common physical imbalances when this chakra is not happening: chest pain, upper back, shoulders, or arms, respiratory issues, asthma, shallow breathing patterns, heart or circulatory challenges, postural collapse through the chest, rounding forward, which is just such a huge one now because everybody's on their phones and on their devices, and immune weaknesses or chronic grief or stress. So these can all be seen as reflections of a deficiency of the heart chakra not being physically open. Okay, I'm going to go through the psychological and emotional, but we'll do this fairly quickly. So it's love, connection, and compassion. That's what really governs Anahata. Our capacity to give and receive love, self-acceptance and self-compassion, empathy and the ability to feel others without drowning in their feelings, forgiveness, grief, and the capacity to release, balance between independency and intimacy, the ability to see humanity in oneself and others. When your heart chakra is balanced, you can be warm, kind, genuine, and care for others. Healthy independency, capacity to hold both joy and sorrow with presence, and the ability to give and move without bypassing pain, a sense of connection to something greater, community, nature, and spirit. Other telltale signs that you can know if your heart's not really working properly is that you are overly emotional and withdrawn, numb, or you have cynicism, clinging, jealous, fear or of abandonment, self-neglect in the name of love, difficulty trusting others and letting anyone in, chronic guilt, resentment, or unprocessed grief. Now, when the heart's on, so I talk about this a lot. So in 1991, Dr. J. Andrew Amor, she discovered that there was over 40,000, almost like the heart has its own mini nervous system, and they called it it's called the cardiac nervous system. Now, these neurons mimic exactly the way that the neurons fire in our brain. She coined the term sensory neurites, and she found over 40,000. Now there's more because of modern science and how the apparatus have improved. But what it showed was that your heart has the ability to sense, feel, and perceive. And before that, before 91, everything said that your brain is the master organ, it's the master center, and everything that we experience is really from the brain. Yep. But what they discovered with the heart was that when our heart goes into coherence, so if you're looking at an EEG scanner, the heart's going up and down in these smooth, coherent waves. and we are connected with these feelings of love and compassion and gratitude and connection, our heart influences the brain. And it actually tells the brain, hey, slow down and stop being so hypervigilant because we can just relax. That's why it's so important to train the heart. Yeah, the Buddha talked about this, like the heart was the ultimate for him. He was really talking about the ultimate goal of practice is to cultivate love, compassion, and peace and share that with the world. Compassion of heart, compassion of mind, and use the power that we have in the heart as a blessing to the world. Yeah. Because that heart field, the Heart Math Institute in California, measured people's heart field. And when someone walks into a room in heart coherence, there's a cool video on YouTube if you type in Heart Math Institute heart coherence, and it shows like this giant sphere about 2 or 3 meters around someone's body who walks into a room in heart coherence. If you're in heart coherence, it will bring everyone else into the room in heart coherence. Have you ever experienced that? Like you see someone or you feel someone come into a room and they're like, you can feel that they are so smiley and happy and positive, but it's not fake. You feel it and it's infectious. Like, happiness is contagious. We feel this warmth and love and vibrancy from that person. It's so real. And that's what we're all striving for. Yeah. Can we be in the heart field? Can we connect to this capacity of love, of giving, and offering that out to the world? Now, if that's true, and now the heart math have also shown that the heart field isn't just 2 or 3 meters, it is massive. I mean, it really vibrates much further. They have that, like, I don't know what the latest research is, but if you know anyone who's a Reiki masters, like real ones, not ones that have been certified in like 2 weeks, people who've been practicing for years, they do Reiki on people on the other side of the world. So if they can feel or project or get their energy to affect someone else on the other side of the world, we can do the same with the heart. That's why when we do metta and we expand loving awareness out to the world, we are not just doing it for ourselves. We are creating this positive ripple out to everybody in humanity, like everyone in the world, everyone in the universe. Because as we know, in some weird way, shape, or form, we are all connected, like we all are. So very important to tap into that infinite field of the heart, like super, super important. Okay, we've been through trauma. So the connection to air, balance and integrity. Yeah, we've gone through that. Let's go on to the archetype. Okay, so archetype. The archetypal dimensions, we have the positive would be the lover, and the negative would be the actor or actress. Anahata governs patterns related to love, authenticity, connection, and emotional truth. When we are in the archetype and the heart is balanced, we have the expression to be the lover in the archetype. An openness and authenticity in the way that we relate to ourselves and others and life in general. The archetype represents genuine warmth, affection, and emotional presence, capacity for intimacy without losing oneself, appreciation for beauty, connection of shared humanity, a willingness to be vulnerable and emotionally honest, compassion, including the ability to hold one's own wounds. The lover reflects a heart that is open yet grounded. Love is expressed with clarity, truth, and boundaries, rather than attachment or dependency. There is an ability to say yes fully and also no from care and self-respect. Now, the dysfunctional is the actor or actress. Yep. So when anahata is in balance, the actor or actress can emerge reflecting a disconnection from authentic emotional expression. Patterns may represent themselves as performing emotions to appear loving, kind, or accepted, seeking validation through displays of feeling or connection, over dramatizing relationships to feel significant or in control, suppressing true needs while saying what others want them to hear, confusing the appearance of love with lived experience of love. The actor or actress operates from the belief that the true self, is not fully lovable, leading to curated expressions of emotion rather than genuine connections. This is why you got to fall in love with yourself. Yep. This is one of the reasons on the path you have to learn to fall in love with yourself. Yes, you, with all of your flaws and all of the things that only you know about yourself. That's so challenging for most people to just fully accept yourself and look in the mirror and say to yourself, I love you. It's one of the most powerful things you can do with mirror work. If you've ever tried mirror work before, just go and look at yourself in the mirror, but only in your eyes, and repeat, I love you, until it works, until you mean it. Can you look at yourself in the mirror and just look only in the eyes, not judging your wrinkles or your face or your eye color or whatever it is? Can you just look at yourself in the eyes and repeat, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, until it's real? Yeah. Falling in love with yourself, but not in like this vain or egotistical way, in a very deep and profound sense of self-acceptance. Yeah, it's so important. It's so important because most people's inner critic and judge is just distorts the field. So if we want to return to authenticity in the emotional truth, we have to let go of the performed identity of emotional masking. And sometimes that happens of just saying you're not okay, because it's the big thing, like we talked about yesterday with suppressing. It's like saying, no, I'm not okay, actually. I need help. I need support. Allowing vulnerability and honest self-expression, cultivating self-acceptance and compassion. I love yourself in the mirror for the next month. Developing a relationship based on truth and reciprocity, reciprocity and presence. Through this process, one shifts from performance and emotional protection of the actress or actor to the authentic connection of embodied love, the lover. And not like in a sexual way, but like there's a presence. If you've ever been in the presence of like a really, really, really profound teacher, there's like they're radiating out love. You know, the way that they look at you, it's, you know, it's not sexual, but there is a deep loving generosity in their energy and the way they look at you, and the way that they hold space. Okay. So for our self-inquiry, this capacity and the experience of ourself, um, are you worthy of self-love? Are you worthy of love? That's one thing you got to ask yourself. Okay. So core teaching principles here that you can ask yourself: am I willing to let my heart be touched by life? Now, that's a big question. Are you willing to let your heart be touched by life? Are you able to open your heart and actually let people in, let experiences in? Can I love myself as I am while still growing and refining? Can I stay true to myself while remaining open to others at the same time? And how do I balance giving and receiving in relationships? Now, the Bija mantra for this one is yum. Yep, so the seed mantra YAM, Y-A-M. Chanting YAM with awareness at the heart center helps to awaken and harmonize the heart center. The air element, the spacious flowing of the breath as we breathe in deeply, which again will help to release any types of grief or resentment that we're holding on to. And the idea is ultimately that when we chant YAM, we awaken compassion, forgiveness, and tenderness. Okay. Before I go any further, does anyone have any questions on the heart chakra? So to close the heart off, let's do a short practice. Now, there's two main mudras that we can use for this. Pran mudra, which we'll do more in the physical practice, and Ganesh mudra. Right now, we'll do Ganesh mudra because Ganesh mudra is said to open and stimulate the heart muscle, and it's also said to alleviate any type of suffering that the heart's endured. We'll start with 6, 6, and 6, and then we'll rub the hands because they'll feel really warm, and then we'll bring the hands onto the heart center. As we go through the physical practice, there's lots of pressure points that we can do, and it will be a bit of a back bend class, so that'll be a fun one. Now, please start with your right hand in front of your heart with the thumb pointing down. So I'm mirroring you. Left hand goes over the front, and we make a nice tight grip with the hands, but we soften it. Breathe in. I want you to focus on flooding the chest and lungs completely. Exhale, engage the hands and just pull the arms apart, but nothing moves. We just feel the muscles engage. So don't tense up the shoulders, chest lifted, engage your pecs. Breathe in, relax, close the eyes. Exhale, navel to spine. Activate the hands, feel the strength through the arms, chest and shoulders. Breathe in deep, relax. Breathe out, go again, strong hands, navel in. Feel the energy, opening the heart, activating the heart muscle. Inhale fully, relax everything, flood the heart muscle. Exhale, go again. Good, 2 more. Really deep, slow, steady breathing. Breathe all the way in and breathe all the way out. Last one on this side, take your time. Same thing, change hands. Just change the position of your hands. Left hand in front, right hand away from you. On the breath out, go again. Strengthen your hands. Go without tensing in the shoulders. Breathe in, relax everything, flood your heart, flood the lungs. Breathe in, flood the heart again, let everything relax. Breathe in deep, take your time. Breathe out, go again. Good, so do 3 more on your own now. Every inhale, everything relaxes. Every exhale, we just engage the hands and strengthen up the arms. This is the last one. Rub your hands together. Get like a really strong charge after you've finished. Take your time. And then when you feel your hands super warm, bring your hands onto the sternum, slightly to the left, but really on the sternum. And breathe awareness at the heart center. As you focus on the warmth and the vibration moving into the heart, can you infuse that with gratitude and love and compassion? Simply by saying thank you to your heart muscle. Now really slow the breathing down and feel like the breath is not just moving in through the nose and into the lungs, but feel like the breath moves from all direction into the heart and filling and expanding your lungs and heart. And as you breathe out, you center more energy at the heart center. Soften the facial muscles. And again, just say thank you to the heart muscle. Remember, the heart beats 100,000 times a day. Thank you for every single part of that, all the different aspects of the heart. Thank you to the lungs for constantly nourishing us, breathing in this fresh prana. Keep breathing slowly, evenly, calmly, rhythmically. Sense a feeling of lightness in the body as we smile at the heart. Now, can you feel that heart field? Can you feel the rhythm of the heart, the energy of the heart expanding not just through the chest? Feel it moving through your shoulders. Feel it moving through all of the body and out into the space that you're sitting in. And everything that the heart feel touches, can you infuse it with your loving awareness? You know, bring the focal point back to the heart center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it all go. Bring the palms together in front of the heart. Express your thanks and gratitude to yourself. Feel the unfolding of Lum, Lum, Lum as it pulses at the heart center. The prayer gesture or namaskar or namaste mudra is a beautiful one to bring energy and balance the heart. So can you feel that yum, yum, yum just pulsing at the heart center now? Softly rub our hands together. Bring the hands over the eyes to cup your eyes. Block out the light, feel the warmth, the vibration and energy flood into the eyes. And feel the eyes being rejuvenated, stimulated, and ready for us to see the world from a brand new perspective. When you're ready, close the eyes, bring the hands to the heart, find a drishti, and take a minute just to lock onto that focal point. And then when you're ready, you can move your gaze around, and that brings us towards the end of the heart chakra. Thank you, everyone. Um, holding holding prayer is a very good practice to strengthen this circuit of energy, and especially if you feel it at the back of the shoulder blades, it's a really good one to just draw those muscles in a little bit and realign the heart. So if you felt any sensation in the shoulders, it's a good one to do because that really does circulate energy very well through the heart center and heart chakra. Okay, so any closing questions on the heart? Okay, fantastic. Okay, we'll see you for chakra 5 very soon.